Welcome back, Benchwarmers. The Olympics are officially over. Now it's time to celebrate the biggest wins for the United States and some of the headlines from the games.
Being that we live in LA, we've got to get ready to host the next one. Maybe LeBron will take us with him so we can avoid it all. I'm Corey, marathon water volunteer.
And I'm Brendan, volleyball line judge, and this is RV from the Bench. Before we get started, if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button so you never miss any one of the new episodes.
Also, if you could please do us the favor, if you like what you see or hear, please don't forget to smash that like button.
Smash it for us. Come on. It's free. It's free for you. It's free for us. Helps out the channel a lot more than you probably think.
Hell yeah.
All right, Corey. I know it's your favorite time of every 4 years, the Olympics, like we discussed in our first Olympics episode.
Actually, it is my favorite because it's all over.
Yeah, this is the
We're
favorite time, right?
celebrating it.
Back to normal sports. Yeah, very true. Now, we're not going to go in here. We're not going to give this crazy breakdown of everything that happened in the Olympics. It's obviously passed maybe a week or so ago. But we wanted to give our version of what happened, kind of give a little quick recap of medals and stuff like that, and then some of the biggest headlines that we wanted to talk about that we didn't discuss from the first one. That was, halfway through the Olympics, I think we did the first one or something like that, right?
Yeah, we did like a midway report card kind of thing, and now here we are wrapping up the second half.
Exactly. So let's jump right into it. We're going to start with what I kind of talked about already, which is the medal count. Well, I mean, is there even really a competition, my friend? I mean, come on. Come on. Now, maybe for gold, because China obviously tied us in gold, right? We got 40 each, I think.
Yeah, 40 each on the gold. And then, I mean, America, they had 40, 44, and 42. So 40 plus in all three categories of the gold of the medals. And by far, I think like 35 more than China overall. So easily the number one nation as far as how many medals we got. And yeah, it sucks that we tied for gold instead of getting number one, but you know, at least you tied and we didn't get like beaten gold by really badly in like a fourth place or something.
Yeah, very true. And the other thing is that, I mean, so here are two caveats to this. One, China is 3 times our size. They have a population of over 1 billion people, and we're about 330 or so million. However, to counteract that same point, they're only Chinese. Like, everyone is Chinese.
That's true.
Whereas, like, technically, I understand they're all American. I'm not trying to put down, but we get anybody. Anybody could technically be American. You know, we got African Americans running our track. We got Asian Americans playing our ping pong. We got Australian Americans swimming for it. Like, we got all sorts of people that are American, right? It's kind of impressive what China did with just Chinese people, if you think about it, right?
I mean, overall, as a nation, to get what 90 something award, 91, and nobody. Okay, so China has 91, US has 126. Nobody else has more than 65. So it tells you already off the bat these two nations are way and above and beyond. And it might also be the fact that they have more athletes in the games overall, which gives them a high percentage of getting medals. But still,
yeah, exactly. I just looked it up. Because Great Britain came in third with 65, that 65 that you're talking about. That's a little island. There's only 56 million people or so, maybe 60 now, 60 million people in England. I'm pretty sure California has, I know the county of Los Angeles has 10 million. So we're a sixth of the entire population of England. So, but either way, we're the best. Get over it. Move aside.
Number one.
We got the most medals this one. We got the most medals ever. We're just the best. It is what it is. Sorry, kick rocks.
Woo woo. Kick rocks.
Kick rocks, world. We win. And England, you're never winning again. 1776, you're still taking L's. Still taking L's. All right. Speaking of small countries that we don't care about, the French blew it at home in both the men's and the women's basketball tournament. Literally home court advantage. Everyone hates us. And you
and not only that, then you got French people booing Embiid on top of it because he didn't pick to be on France and picked the U.S. over them. So just a lot of hatred towards the U.S. and them being the home team. But I thought it was kind of cool, though, that both the men's and women's France and U.S. were able to face off in the final. So they made it a little bit more like, oh, okay, we're literally down to just France as the home team and U.S. against them. No other opponents in the way or any countries. So like, I don't know. I thought it was a lot of fun those last 2 days of the whole Olympic Games.
Yeah, it was, and both games were really good. The men's like we played, the men's game came down to the wire, but Steph Xavier, honestly, probably one of the best moments of basketball I've ever watched in my life, and it just gives me literally chills thinking about it right now. Just he's insane. granted, LeBron wins MVP because of what he did throughout the entire Olympics.
Yeah.
Without Steph's 2 games against Serbia and France, I think we
They don't
lose,
win.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. They were down what 14, I think,
13 or
going into the
14
fourth
in the
against
fourth. Yep.
Serbia. Yeah, like they were dead for walking right there at that point. So Steph coming alive in the fourth, getting them in that game and getting them that win, getting that, and I felt like too, like France is good, and again the home country and everything, but they're just so young compared to the USA team. The USA team is very experienced. Plus they have Gobert, and he doesn't even know how to play defense, even though he's a 4-time defensive
He's the
player of the year.
best defensive player. I don't know what you're talking about. His
I
awards say so.
I don't know what the NBA voters are doing, because we've talked about this. If you haven't seen it, go back and check out our episode where we talk about Rudy Gobert being the best defensive player in the NBA.
Yeah, no, it was but they're scary, thinking about, to your point, how young they are. I mean, honestly, the only real scary thing is Wemby. Everyone else is a basketball player. Yeah. I know the Sixers signed the other standout star who wasn't in the NBA, or was in the NBA but isn't in the NBA, but now it's back in the NBA. What was that guy's name again? Do you remember?
I don't remember. It starts. I feel like his first name starts with an O. Osia something.
Sixers. He has a cool last name.
Osia.
Yabusele.
Yabusele.
Guerschon Yabusele. I probably pronounced his first name incorrectly. Yeah.
Well, at least you got it there. I'm close on my guess.
Yeah. Yabusele was the last name. So yeah, he signed. He signed with the Sixers on a little 1-year deal to try to come back to the NBA and prove another point. But in the end, Steph took care of business. The shot over 2 people fading away when both LeBron and KD, arguably some of the best players of all time, are standing wide open. He says, "Thank you, but no, thank you. I've go ahead and got this. Let me go ahead and wrap this one up for my only gold medal." But I think it solidifies his legacy. Not that he needed any more solidification, with one of, if not the only, unanimous MVP, multiple rings, a Finals MVP. The gold medal just adds to the shelf,
Yeah, absolutely. And it's weird that, I mean, you look at the timeline, it makes sense why Steph has never played in an Olympics, but they said this was his first Olympics, and I was like, really? Wow, he's 35. Like, there's got to be, yeah, but I was like, but in the middle of all those title runs, there was 2 Olympics, and then one of them was COVID, so that didn't happen. And then the early years of his career, he was injured and not playing all the time, so he couldn't go.
It might not have been picked anyways that early in his career.
Yeah, to that point, to your point, yeah, you're probably right at that point, but even then he was hurt and not even really eligible. So the fact that he finally, after all these years, was able to play, and he's the difference maker in the 2 biggest games of the tournament. Yeah, it sucks. I get the MVP thing. People think he should have gotten it, but I'm with you. I think LeBron in the tournament, it's kind of like the NHL with the Conn Smythe in the final. Like, it's not for the final itself; it's for the entire playoff run. So overall, LeBron averaged almost a triple-double.
The guy who didn't even win the chip or the cup last year won the MVP.
Exactly. Right? McDavid had an amazing Stanley Cup playoff run of his own as an individual. The team lost in Game 7, the final, but his overall numbers as an individual were way above and beyond anybody else on Florida, so they had no choice but to give it to him. Now, it does suck as the losing guy to have to go out there and take the award, but, it's what it is.
Yeah. Not the case with LeBron, though. LeBron was on the winning side, but to your point about the longevity of the entire tournament, not just the past 2 games. Yeah, Steph was the most important in the last 2 games. LeBron was the most necessary for the entire trek. And you can even ask people on the team, bro. They talk about his leadership. They talk about the best of the best are sitting here. What do we do, LeBron? You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a reason. A'ja Wilson on the other side wins tournament MVP, averaged 18.6 points and over 10 rebounds in 6 games. Their game was a lot closer. They won by 1 and damn near lost it at the last second. But she killed it. The women's team killed it. I understand the break that Caitlin Clark needed, but they probably could have used some 3-point shooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, not gonna lie, I'm with you. I mean, USA women hasn't lost a game. They've like 61 straight Olympic games they've won now or something.
9 straight.
It's astronomical.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like they're just so much bigger and better and everything than anybody else. The fact that they even had a close game is like, whoa, what is going on? Because I don't think anybody anticipated that. I am with you though on the Caitlin Clark thing, especially because the fact that, like, low-key, they didn't even play Diana Taurasi, so she just went to get her 6th medal and sit on the bench the whole time. Like, why not let the younger generation kind of start maybe? And you're right, though. Maybe Caitlin Clark having that break was, like, the best thing for her, because the last year and a half or so, she's been playing basketball
all the time,
nonstop. And this first 3 games, dude, her first 2 or 3 games, she's got, like, 50 points and 25 assists in them. Like, she's just killing it. She obviously took her time off, rested, stayed in the film room. It's paid off. But, yeah, I'm just... USA women winning gold is kind of like, like USA softball winning gold when they used to have it. It kind of just it's
or
like
soccer
death and
until
taxes. It just
most
happens.
recently. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Which honestly, I don't mean any shots to Taurasi, but like at the end, the Rapinos and the Taurasis of the world need to stop hanging on for one more gold medal to add to their case and let because it was okay with Taurasi's team, but the women's team, not in this Olympics, but last time a Rapino played, they lost. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's just better. Let's just ride off into the sunset and call it a day, But
Yeah, absolutely. But at the other point too, I'm super excited for Sabrina Ionescu getting her first gold because I'm a huge Sabrina fan.
oh yeah,
So
she deserved to be there, 100%. Yeah,
oh hell yeah! But I'm just excited for her to get her first gold, so that's dope.
first of many, probably.
Oh yeah, at least one or two more.
Some of those other gold medals that we talked about, the 40, were handed out to track, man. We're coming back in track. Most of the time, especially long distance running, belongs to a lot of the African countries, and the sprinting is kind of up in the air, but a lot of African countries as well. But we were killing it, and not only did we kill it, our 4x400 meter relays, I think both groups set Olympic records, maybe world records. The women's one was like I feel like they were a lap ahead. They were so far ahead.
Yeah, I feel like the men's was an Olympic, and I feel like the men's was an Olympic record, and the women's was a world record because they killed it. And my favorite part was the Sha'Carri Richardson and that last like quarter of her part where she turns to the right to see like where the other runner is, and she realizes like I got this, and then just takes off and then just screams out and lets out all the emotion of winning the gold, especially after her whole debacle of not being able to go back in 21. To be able to be there and be a part of a gold-winning relay team is just super awesome. And I mean, maybe this is something they build on for the next Olympics in LA too, and try to take over track and field at the Coliseum.
I hope so. In the nicest way, I'm not going to talk crap because he's American. He won some golds for us, but I hope Noah Lyles will shut up and or win more golds because how are you talking crap? Everyone, did you see how he was lined up, or how he? I'm sorry, wasn't lined up for that 200 meter that he was talking all this crap about. Everyone's sitting here waiting to race. He's running around pretending to hype up the crowd. He's so excited, blah, blah. He finally gets in, comes in third, and then all of a sudden has COVID. Like, get out of here, bro. You lost. That's what it is. It wasn't because of COVID. Needed to be wheelchaired. What is this, Paul Pierce, bro? Get the fuck out of here, bro. I root for the guy because he's American, but beyond that, not a fan.
I mean, he's lucky he even won the gold in the one-on-one race.
0.0001%.
If it wasn't for the chest that he stuck out for, I mean, it's like so close. Obviously, he still got it, but yeah, like I don't know, man. And then to act like he doesn't know who Tyreek Hill. Dude, you guys have been talking about each other for 2
or whatever
years.
his name is.
Yeah,
Shut
up,
I don't know, bro. Everyone knows Tyreek Hill. No one knows Noah Lyles. No offense.
Well, that, and not only does everybody else know Tyreek, but we know you know him because you've talked about him before. So you can't now all of a sudden be like, "Wait, who? What are we talking?" Like, come on. Just
I know.
Yeah,
I know
but
they keep
we
talking
won't
about
have to hear
racing
from
each
them for
other.
another 4 years. So
yeah, true.
Oh well, unless they race each other, then
That's
we're gonna
what
have to talk
saying.
about.
Have you? But the thing is like he's used to running 100 meters, which I saw is about 110 yards, and Tyreek wants to run a 50-yard dash.
Okay.
So
honestly,
I don't know if they're going to do anything.
I don't know if they would do it or agree to it, but it would be interesting to see if they both ran 100 yards, but Tyreek did it with all his gear on, just to see how much how close he can keep himself even with gear. Because even on a football field, that guy looks super fast when he's wearing all the gear. So I'd love to see them race like normally, but I'd also love to see one with Tyreek in gear. Yeah, just the helmet pads like right next to him, like go and just see how much a difference that makes, or if Tyreek is that fast, does he really have an opportunity to kind of hang with him, even though he's got that extra weight from everything? But
I'd love to see it and have you rooting for Tyreek the whole time. Again, I root for Noah to win because he's American. I try not to be disrespectful, but can you just shut your mouth and run, bro? Like, not like that, like shut up and dribble. Not like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, you talk so much crap. I'm not saying you're gonna have social stances. I'm saying you talk so much crap.
Yeah.
Shut up, bro. Ugh. Anyways,
that goes back to my whole thing too. Don't talk crap until the game's over. Like, don't say anything before giving bulletin board material or anything to anybody. Just go out, take care of business, and when you took care of it and you win, then you can talk all the shit you want.
Yeah, don't talk shit and then come in third, bum.
Yeah.
Well, not much third place here, but there's definitely a lot of shit talking. And it's not necessarily, I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's a lot of people are really making fun of it or kind of, but the big headline that we obviously have to talk about is Rachel Reagan Gunn, the
Yeah.
Australian breakdancer who took the Olympics by storm, I guess, as you can say. But it
Yeah.
wasn't because of her amazing moves. It was really the lack thereof. A little bit of a thriller dance thrown in there, some wobbling on the ground here and there. There's a million memes. I'm sure you've all seen them. I laughed. I saw one today, actually, that says, "Do you guys remember this book?" And it's a picture of the front of where the wild things are, and they're all making these
Oh yeah.
weird things, and it's her in the fucking corner of the book doing the same thing. Oh, dude, the memes are great, right? But the the Olympic part of it is kind of where it gets a little interesting. I don't know if you saw. I know you've probably seen a million replays. Did you get to watch it live for some reason?
No, definitely didn't see live. Saw clips and everything on Twitter after it happened and what was going on. And how could she be there and get no score? How did she get to the Olympics and all this fiasco? And I was just like, dude, what? And this is not good for breakdancing having its one shining moment.
Right, and they already said it's not going to be in the 2028 Olympics. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
no, let's go ahead and take that one out. And what's crazy is like some of the real breakdancers were actually pretty good. Like, I know
Yeah.
it might be your own opinion on whether or not it should be Olympic sport, but it's difficult nonetheless, right? I mean, I know
Oh
I can't
yeah.
go out there and do all these things. Obviously, Ray Gunn has been practicing and makes herself look like a fool with a score of 0. So it's a lot harder than we probably think. But yeah, it's already been kind of nixed for the next Olympics
Yeah, but
because of
not
some
only
of the
that,
shady shit,
even
right?
though even though she's doing like not good dancing or whatever, a lot of the stuff she's doing is still better than what I can do on a dance floor at all if I try. So
Come
power
on,
to
believe
her.
in
Like, do
yourself,
your
Corey.
thing.
Believe in
Bro,
yourself.
you've known me long enough. Come on. You know there's no dancing in this white boy body over here.
Yeah,
Come on.
no, you do. You know what's crazy, bro, is you have rhythm like in your brain. It's that it doesn't
Yes.
send the signals to the rest of your
No.
limbs. That's the
There's a
problem.
disconnect. There's a disconnect there.
Yeah,
This
because you could
doesn't
bob your
happen.
head with stuff, like
Oh
rhythm and
yeah.
timing of stuff, but like to move
Yeah.
the limbs, nah, it ain't working like that. It's
Nah,
not working like that.
nah.
That's okay
Below
though,
the
but
neck,
nonetheless.
this
But the story got kind of crazy. I know there's a lot of in-depth stuff, but if you haven't heard, let's break it down for you because a little bit of investigation kind of went on, and especially back in Australia to figure out how is this what we're represented by in the
Yeah,
Olympics
for real,
because
dude.
that's like not every Australian sitting there like Aussie, 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 oi, 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 right? But like a lot of them are, and this was kind of embarrassing. So basically, what's happened is there's some allegations that are going around that her and her husband have basically rigged the entire selection process in Australia because they are the founders of the organization called Australian Breaking Association, the ABA, I
Uh-huh.
guess you can say. Somebody has said that it's been debunked that they weren't necessarily in that position. There was an article that I had read that it said it would be debunked, like U.S. Post or something like that. But it's
Mm.
kind of weird to think that because there's currently a petition going on with almost or just about over 30,000 signatures in Australia for an investigation to be done on it because they're saying that the aforementioned what I had previously said is actually true, that they basically put themselves in it.
Oh.
I'm going to read straight from the petition because it's concise on what it says. There's some people's names in here that are like fun, so I'm gonna try my best to say them because they're breaking names. But basically, the petition states: "We, the undersigned, call for immediate accountability and transparency in the recent actions of Rachel Gunn and Anna Mears in the selection process for Australia's female breakdancer representative at these Olympics. Rachel Gunn, who set up her own governing body for breakdancing, has manipulated the selection process to her own advantage." Um, Despite the clear talent and qualification of other outstanding female breakdancers like G Clef and Holy Molly, they were unfairly overlooked. Apparently, a group called the NTU Long Boys, an incredibly talented group and underprivileged youth from the Northern Territory, were apparently denied crucial funding by Dr. Gunn to attend the qualifiers, a decision that obviously directly impacted their chance to showcase their skills on the national stage. Moreover, a lot of people are alleging that she actually just did all this to write a book. She's a professor at a university, and she teaches some sort of, I guess, expressive dance stuff. A lot of people are talking about how she did all this to try to maybe write a book and talk about it and sell it and maybe make it a textbook, et cetera, right? So there's a lot of crap that's kind of coming down behind this, and
Jeez.
all Australia wanted to do was breakdance.
Well, if they wanted to go viral in any way, they definitely did that.
Yeah, not
As far
necessarily the best way.
as breakdance, yeah, not good. That sucks too, because like not only do you ruin the like not the aura or like whatever. I don't know, but just the whole aspect of the fact that they let breakdancing become a sport for the Olympics. These other people from these other countries come and spend all this time and energy and effort to get there and represent themselves, and then you go there and do that, and basically you possibly took someone else's spot that could have maybe been there and done a little better and made a better representation of your country. Like, that sucks.
Yeah. And you know what else I just thought about now that you were saying that? With the way that the internet and everything is like, what if another person who is not as known, isn't a doctor, doesn't have a professor job,
Yeah.
isn't starting organizations? What I mean, they could blow up on Instagram, they could blow up on TikTok because people can see their name. They could get, their career can be launched just by being on the Olympic stage,
Yeah.
even if they don't win. So that's a great point. I mean, taking it away from people who deserve it, and then also kind of somewhat making a mockery of it at the same time on the global
Mm-hmm.
stage, not even a national stage,
Yeah.
is kind of lame. Yeah.
Yeah, like, think about, like, what if there was somebody in Australia that could have won and had her spot, and if they would, even if they wouldn't have medaled, but they would have done, better than what she did,
Zero, better
obviously.
than zero.
Maybe they get some kind of a sponsorship deal when they come back home to Australia because they placed, so high in the entire rankings of the breakdancing category. But
Yeah.
for her to go there and do that, if that ends up being true with her and her husband and all this stuff, like, man, get out of here.
Yeah, kind of lame. Plethora of things that could have come from it if somebody talented made it, but looks like we've got some devious things kind of going on in the background. We're going to kind of keep an eye on it. We'll let you know if anything comes of this petition, if anything is, if any investigations are done or lawsuits brought about. But we'll keep an eye on it. Let you guys know if we know more.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap up here before we talk about 28 for a moment with another kind of rough headline here. This one kind of plagued gymnastics after we've done such a great job. Simone Biles gold in the all around. Our overall team won gold. Everybody's just taking home medals. I think Simone won 3 gold, 1 silver this Olympics. So we're looking great, right? But when it came down to one of the other Olympians, Jordan Childs, she recently had one of her medals stripped, figuratively. It wasn't necessarily like ripped off of her. But
can you imagine in the middle of everybody just fucking give me that back?
Yeah, exactly, right. Basically, what had happened was she had finished her. I think it was her floor routine, and she had finished it, and she was given her score. Apparently, this happens all the time, so this isn't necessarily the weird part. The weird part we'll get to. Her coach, Cecile Landy, went to the judges and kind of filed like a petition to like kind of review it, because what happens a lot, obviously they're doing a bunch of stuff at once. Sometimes their score comes up. They're graded on difficulty basically and execution. And depending on the multipliers and stuff like that, you could be moving up a couple positions because of it. And the coach had felt that maybe either one, they didn't grade the difficulty of it, or they maybe didn't see the execution. So they went to kind of file the petition and said, hey, can you just rewatch that and make sure this is the score that you want to give? After it was done, they changed the score. It actually moved her up and moved her from 5th place to 3rd place, which is why she was on the podium for the bronze medal. Even though it was 0.1 points, which I think is crazy, but 0.1 points enough to move her from 5th to 3rd. The problem is there's a court of arbitration for sport, and apparently they voided this appeal from the coach, not because she couldn't do it or because it's not a professional thing to do or it's not tactful, but because she didn't do it in the amount of time that you're allowed to do it. Corey, did you know how long you're allowed to request an appeal?
I don't, because I don't watch gymnastics regularly, but I'm going to guess less than 2 minutes for sure.
Yes, you're close. It is 1 minute. You have 60 seconds, which is fine. Whatever. You say, hey, I don't know if that's right. The problem is, Cecile Landy, the Team USA coach, she made the petition instead of 60 seconds, 64 seconds.
Oh, yeah, and Olympic people and lines and times, like, they don't bend any of those rules.
The rules are the rules. You need to get it in within 60 seconds, not within 64, not within 65, not within 120, like Corey might have guessed. But it was done. So they gave it to her. She had the podium ceremony. They had the flag up. She was up there with everything. But after it was reviewed and everything, it was taken away. It was moved from Childs. Like the record books now show this as the other way around. It is officially her in 5th place. And Romanian gymnast Ana Barbosu is officially the bronze medalist in the 2024 Paris Games for it. I believe it was just the floor routine.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
It's kind of rough. But I understand the principle. It's just
Yeah, exactly. But part of the problem too is after this appeal was done by the arbitration, there's also a report that USA went back and found a time-stamped video where they were under the 60 seconds, but the arbitration people said that the case has already been heard. It's too late to add new evidence to it. There's nothing they can do. So as far as I know, the last I read, I think Jordan Chiles still has the bronze medal in hand. She still physically is holding it.
Yeah.
But if you're the Olympics at this point, why not just give them both a bronze and let's just call it a day? Like, you don't have to make it weird, or if she wants to keep the medal, whatever. If you want to change the record books, that's fine too. Like, just move on.
Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. The hard part is like if they grant her the bronze, then what do they do with the fourth place lady? Because she came in fifth.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little spicy. But I see your point. It's kind of hard to kind of just take it away like that. But I guess rules are rules.
Well, because you already changed the rule to begin with. Like, if the original rule was she didn't win and then all of a sudden this time went by, she asked and it's too late, I get it. But you had already gone back and reviewed it and said she did win it, and now you're going back and saying she did and didn't or whatever. It's just like it's just make a decision and stick with it at this point, whatever the decision is. But like going back and forth and just making it look even more, I don't know. There's always thought and worry about the Olympics or these big competitions being, somehow finagled with people money under the table and stuff. So you just, anything like that doesn't make you feel better about this kind of situation.
Yeah, because technically her score
with that.
Exactly. Her score after the review was good enough, but it wasn't reviewed in time. So her performance was bronze medal worthy, but because they didn't notice it, she gets fifth. Crazy, huh?
It sucks. It's a shitty situation, but it is what it is. The rules are the rules. If they say you didn't get in 60 and their proof is it, then there's nothing you can do.
It is what it is. We still see you, Jordan. You did a great job. Losing by 0.1 ain't shit. You know what I mean? I know you got the gold for the all-around team. Yeah. Exactly. So, hopefully you'll be back for the next one. I don't know how old you are, but I believe you're probably young enough to be able to do it. So hopefully,
I think they'll all be back besides Simone probably.
She might think about it.
Although
31-year-old
debated, yeah.
Just saying,
dude, that would be gnarly.
Simone set a record. Go check out our previous Olympics episode where we talk about it. She did something that no one has ever done in the past, I think, 50 years of Olympic sport. So go check that out in the previous episode. We're going to move on. Those are pretty much the main headlines. We know there was a ton of other stuff covered in the Olympics. We don't want to sit here for 5 hours and do it. Plus, you've probably already seen most of it anyways.
We're not NBC Sports, man.
Exactly. We just wanted to cover, some of the big topics and kind of dive into a little bit of the background for the two biggest ones, what we think was the breakdancing and this Jordan Chiles thing. So if you missed it, now you know. However, like we talked about in the intro, we're hoping LeBron will be able to get everybody out of here because it's going to be fucking packed. There's already 1 billion damn people in Southern California. Now the Olympics are going to be here.
All right, and here's my first thing. You're like, oh, we should get LeBron to get us out of here. I'm like, that sounds great. And then I'm like, I think volleyball indoors at Honda, and I'll probably be working, so I can't leave.
Get out of here. You're stuck, actually. Here. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll be stuck for sure. But no, it'll be exciting just to be a part of it. I know, obviously, the last time 84, you and I weren't around yet, but I keep hearing all these people on the radio and stuff that were alive and were like in their teens and early 20s when it came here in LA in 84 and how fun it was and awesome and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, that's great, but also like there's too many more people here. And now like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and there's much more games. I think it's weird that the softball and whatever that one water sport is in Oklahoma City instead of California because they don't have a place for it. So that sucks for those people in those sports. They're not going to be here, part of the Olympic Village and the whole, rest of the hoopla. And I'm interested to see what baseball is going to do because baseball is going to be in the Olympics. Do they freeze MLB for a couple of weeks and allow the guys to play? There's just a lot of things going on. But hey, if you're going to leave town though during the Olympics, what you should do is Airbnb your place while you're gone because I'm sure somebody would be happy to pay a much lesser price than a hotel, but you can charge a decent price.
Dude, you know how close we are to the Gold Line that takes you on a train?
I know you downtown? Especially. That's why. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You have the.
Corey, I'll set up the Airbnb right now. 1 second. Jeez.
All right. Give me 2% since I had the idea.
You got it. Done. But to your point, we do have a couple new sports. Baseball is coming back, not necessarily a new sport. Softball coming back, lacrosse coming back, and cricket. To be honest with you, I don't know why cricket isn't in it all the time. It's one of the biggest sports in the entire world besides here in America.
Yeah,
I don't get why that one's not there all the time. But either way, baseball, softball, lacrosse, and cricket are back. Corey, tell us what new ones are coming.
So one of this is interesting to me. Squash is coming for the first time, which I know it's a game that's been around a long time. I don't know much about it. I don't know the rules or anything like that. But the one that's coming that's also new, that's kind of interesting and like kind of exciting, is the 5-on-5 flag football. I don't know how many NFL guys will go into this because I don't know what the rules are as far as like how many. It's kind of like the 3-on-3 basketball this year. Like you have to play in so many 3-on-3 tournaments in order to be eligible to play in the 3-on-3. Yeah, in Olympics.
I'm sorry, for football.
I don't know for
the
sure.
3v3. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna guess because otherwise, like, there's gonna be a lot of NFL guys. But then again, like, it's a completely different game, 5-on-5 compared to 11-on-11 and tackle. I don't know how many guys
they
are
used to 7-on-7. They run a ton of 7-on-7 drills.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't watch the 5-on-5 flag football enough to like see how the game is played to know who would translate into said sport. So it'll be interesting
Patrick
to see.
Mahomes, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean? Like we could just get.
Yeah, this is also player. 4 years from now. Tyreek Hill might be too slow by then. You know what I mean?
Oh, true. You're right. We'll have to get Rome Odunze because he just got out. Marvin Harrison Jr. because he just got out. But yeah, I think that'd be cool. I have heard there's this guy. I don't know his name, and I mean this in the nicest way. I'm really not trying to talk shit. But there's already apparently like flag football leagues, like professional leagues where they do this, right? And so they keep on talking about how they're like, why do these NFL guys think they're just gonna come into our league? And like, shut the fuck. What do you mean? Why do NFL guys? Because they're the best of the best that do it. You would do in the NFL too, but you're not good enough. That's why you do flag in the nicest way. I mean that respectfully, I promise, right?
Yeah.
So it is.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of those people. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people in the 5-on-5 now that will make it because obviously they've been spending years playing it the way and getting it down to a science for them. But there's definitely going to be some NFL guys that are going to be like, oh, it looks like a fun thing to do in the summer in the off season. Like
the best in the world, man. Come on.
Yeah. Now, when the Olympics are here, I think they're the last 2 weeks of July. So does that interfere with camp at all for NFL teams? That could be a determining factor for some of those people.
A lot of times in July too, though. Or man, August. Some of them are like non-mandatory, like what is it?
Voluntary.
True. Sorry, but some are like depending on who, you know. So it could get close. I'm hoping that they would obviously grant because luckily this is like non-physical. I mean, if you're running, you can get hurt by that, but there's no you're not getting tackled or anything. So hopefully some of the teams will be a little bit lax with it and let people play.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm excited. I'm excited for sure. That one's going to be super cool. Super excited to see baseball and softball back too. Hopefully America crushes it. Lacrosse will be interesting because we're more into lacrosse now. And I'll actually get to watch cricket. I've seen it a little bit, but I don't really pay attention, but it looks crazy.
Yeah. The only thing with lacrosse is I know it's outdoors, so it's still awesome, but I really wish it was box lacrosse because that's way better. Yeah, that's okay. I'll take any lacrosse I can get.
Yeah, stop complaining. All right. Well, before we get out of here, we want to kind of pop up again. We want to make sure that everyone is taking care of themselves out there. And I know that we did a huge one in June as Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And we had talked about it previously. But it's time for another Corey's Mental Health Minute.
Yeah. We've been a while. Obviously, like you said, in June, we did a bunch because it was Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. July, we had a little less episodes and things going on with me going to Ohio and everything else. So now that we're back in the swing of things, we want to bring back Corey's Mental Health Minute. So the quote I have for you today is, just because no one else can heal or do your inner work for you doesn't mean you can, should, or need to do it alone. That's Wow, I cannot say her last name. Oliveira, who had that quote. And also, if you're looking at YouTube, you can see on the screen with the quote, there's a website, goodtherapy.org. So if you ever need any help or want to try to find out more help for somebody else that you think might need it, you can check out their website for more information.
That's a really good quote. I like that. And I agree. You shouldn't have to do it alone. You're going to have to do some of the work, right? But like having someone have your back, if it's not a good friend like Corey and I have with each other, there's someone out there to listen. Hit us up in the DMs. You need someone to talk to, man. I'm being serious out here. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for real.
We'll be your friend. We'll talk to you. Come hang out. So, but yeah, I like that. Thank you, Corey, for another good mental health note there. Well, that's gonna wrap it up here today. We want to know down from below in the comments, though. Let us know what your favorite Olympic event is, what you're most looking forward to in 2028. And I want to know one thing: would you be able to be in the Olympics? If so, what sport are you in the Olympics in? I see you badminton and ping pong players out there. Call yourselves out. We want to see you. 2028. Anyways, appreciate everybody stopping by as always. Seeing things from RV from the bench. I'm Brendan.
And I'm Corey. Like we always say, enjoy the sports until we talk again.
Peace.
This was a Sycamore Fourth Studios production.